Hello internet friends, NapYet here. When I started this channel, my intention was to review every Transformer that I bought. But at some point that goal got away from me, probably the rate at which I was buying things coupled with limited time to spend making YouTube videos. But to be brutally frank, the reason I stopped doing reviews was because there wasn't enough that was different about the style of them. There are tons of great Transformers YouTubers out there already making excellent videos about the Transformers they've bought. What can I offer that's different or unique? Anyway, I've been thinking about that and come up with an answer. Review specs. Here's a mock-up of 86 Grimlock so you can get a picture of what I'm talking about. The idea is that in each review spec video we'll give a score out of 10 to each figure in one of 5 categories: accuracy, articulation, scale, transformation and alt mode. At the end, I'll take those scores and feed them through the secret and also patented retro and reissue number crunching algorithm TM that will spit out an overall score out of 10. In this way, we'll be able to accurately and scientifically, with complete objectivity, and I'm not even joking, grade the quality of every Transformers figure that I can afford. Maybe it's crazy, but I'm going to give it a go. For this inaugural review spec video, our test subject is BRAWN. That's right, the karate chopping Autobot nutcase. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Who has no qualms about squaring up to Decepticons 3 times his size. Honestly, I have no idea how this guy is still alive. This is Studio Series 86 BRAWN, of course, which is Hasbro's latest release of the character. So without further ado, let's review spec this sucker. Sorry, that was far too aggressive. Let's do the review spec. Accuracy. For me, this BRAWN is great, but I would say only from the waist up. His weird rugby ball head and barrel chest are recreated really well. His arms feel stocky, slightly stunted as they should be. Even the backpack fits because the character always wore the roof of his Jeep like a satchel. The legs, however, they stray pretty far from the cartoon. His feet in particular aren't the chunky tree trunks that they should be. In fact, they're a little bit delicate, like a pair of dainty robot dancing shoes. Overall, this has the effect of making BRAWN look a little bit more lithe and nimble than I think he should, and that's why I'm going to give Legacy BRAWN 7 for accuracy. Articulation. In a word, swell. Did that sound American, by the way? I'm trying to get the Americans to like me by peppering in Americanisms, boy howdy. Elbow joints that swivel so he can do the gun kata if he likes. A shame there's no wrist swivel. An ankle pivot, check. One reason for those dainty feet, perhaps. The legs are pretty versatile, but can he kneel? A very important question for me. Check out the vid linked on screen regarding this particular obsession of mine. Well, no. He can't kneel, not really, but check this out, this weird quirk of his transformation because of the way his shoulders hinge down. He can pull off one of the best superhero landings I've seen. I guess the question is, does a superhero landing cancel out a non-kneel, like antimatter and normal matter colliding? That's a question for Professor Brian Cox. I'm just a YouTuber. A YouTuber who's going to give this deluxe release an 8 for articulation. Next up, scale. 86 BRAWN suffers from the same problem many of the minibots currently do, in that they're getting too big. I don't think all the smaller Autobots should be as dinky as Wheelie, but as you can see here, BRAWN, as well as Gears and Beachcomber, are nearly as tall as the standard Autobot cars such as Bluestreak and Smokescreen. This could be because those characters are from a previous line, and perhaps we'll see an increase in scale across the board for those characters too. But for right now, BRAWN, he's just a bit too tall. So in my opinion, the scale is off on this one. I'm saying it's a 5 for scale. Transformation, it's nice and straightforward with nothing really to trip you up once you've noticed all the discreet little grooves and pegs that lock him firmly in place. You can apparently transform him into a long-legged version to replicate the original G1 toy also. Quick and concise, 8 for transformation. And finally, the alt mode. I really like this. It has that quintessential BRAWN stockiness that falls off at the waist in robot mode. And unlike the recent Beachcomber, he remains mini, folding up into a discreet little package. I'm sure BRAWN wouldn't like to hear me say that, but dude, you're a minibot. We all know you're a badass, but small and stunty, that is your defining characteristic. And the alt mode has it throughout. I would say 9 for the alt mode. Okay, so now the most important part of every one of these review spec videos. The moment we turn subjective opinion into concrete fact via some sort of algorithm. First, we plug those scores into the spec. Accuracy, 7. Articulation, 8. Scale 5. Transformation 8. And alt mode 9. Then we get the algorithm into motion. Hold on, I just need to find the button. It's tucked away under all these wires and metal gubbins. There you go. It's whirring away there, crunching those numbers. Review spec overall score for Legacy Brawn, 7. That's a bit of a shock for me, I have to admit, since my gut instinct would be to give this Brawn an 8. But the algorithm doesn't lie. I'm a slave to the algorithm. I think the low score for the scale really pulled that final score down. Still, a great figure with just a few aspects that steer it away from the level of accuracy I would have liked to see. So what do you think of the review spec algorithm's opinion? And do you like this format for reviews? I hope so, because I really like the idea of having a graphical reference for every review that I do. Maybe I could print them out and collect them, display them next to the figures. This is what this is all about for me, just coming up with fun new ways to enjoy your collection. Join me next time for more reviews or numbered lists or whatever crazy collecting concepts my brain spits out. Oh, and should we name the algorithm? Leave your suggestions for a name in the comments. I'm trending towards Teletran 2. I've been Napier, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.